Welcome YouTube to another Gooner Souls preview. Today we have Aston Villa taking on Arsenal. This is going to be my match prediction, my views on the game, and how I think we're going to line up for the anticipated revenge against Aston Villa. Let's get into some team news and what I think and what obviously Arsenal have said about player availability. Obviously, we know the two absentees straight off the bat in we've got Leno out and David Luiz due to the red cards against Wolves, which is going to be a massive blow. But I do think Runarsson is going to make people eat their words. He's going to put on a performance for us that we did not expect from him. I'm not saying he's going to be Martinez level, but he's going to put a performance on which we all hope he can do. He can replicate what Martinez done when he was called into the 11. Of course, Arteta has said that he hopes to see Matt Ryan be fit. But of course, as we've heard before, he's not going to be available for the game due to the fact that, Arteta has said that he's not yet trained in the team. So that does not look hopeful that he's going to be coming in. But I hope somehow he can get fit and come in. But I do think Alex Runarsson is going to make a few people eat their words. He's going to put on a performance for us. We've got to believe in the lad. We've got to be behind him. There's nothing we can do. The red card was stupidness, but you just got to get behind your players and you've got to have that faith. I know he hasn't given us anything to have faith in, but we've got to have a little bit of belief. Just going into some extra news on Arsenal, we've got the January goals where we've got the likes of Saka and Tierney, whose goals have been nominated. Do go vote for the lads. Make sure that we made our voices heard. We've heard Arteta talk about the likes of Xhaka and how important he thinks Xhaka is to the way Arsenal play. Arteta's in the running for Premier League Manager of the Month. The signs are looking good. It seems like the turnaround has been yet and truly made. The Wolves game was just a blip in the performance, but let's get into sort of what I feel my match thoughts on the game are going to be. Now, when we have a look at previous fixtures and like the form running into the game, obviously we had a shocker here. We lost to Wolves due to some controversy, some absolute unfortunate refereeing and officiating in the game. But we have to move on. We have to remember what happened, but move on as a team. We need to make sure we remember the mistakes we've made and that the fact the officiating is going to be against us, but we've got to move on. We've got to make sure we don't get ourselves into a situation that David Luiz and Rob Holding found themselves in, where they had to do something. I don't think it should have been a red card, but it has been. But my main problem is, leading up to the goal, how easy it was for Wolves to get to that situation in the first place. We need to be cutting that stuff out. We look at Arsenal United. It was a boring game. We should have won that game. In my opinion, United fans will say they should have won. That game, yeah, it was a draw. I think on the run of play, a draw was justified. And we kind of just move on. Again, as a top 6 team, someone that's on form, that couldn't beat us. They haven't scored against us, so signs are looking good. Then in the Premier League, we beat Southampton in emphatic style. It was Arsenal 3, Southampton 1. Again, we've seen some fantastic performance going into this game. We've seen signs of improvement that our mentality will not drop regardless of this result right here in the FA Cup, getting knocked out by that team against Southampton. We shouldn't have. It was just a stupid moment of madness that led to the goal. And then in our previous game, we beat Newcastle 3-0. It was a draw against Crystal Palace. Again, a difficult game. They usually do give us a bit of trouble. So that was always, going to be a difficult game. But we did manage to not lose a whole load of points. We lost it 2. We dropped 2 points. But again, we move on. And then we go into the FA Cup against the Newcastle. Obviously, we beat them. They're 4-0. This is where the turnaround. Brighton and this was the real turnaround games, these 3 here. Can we replicate that performance? Can we replicate, this run of form that we've got and put the Wolves game to bed once and for all? Because we know we've got Leeds coming up, in the week after. Then we've got the big game in the Europa League. We really need to be picking up some wins and get that momentum going into the Europa League. Now, let's look at how Aston Villa are coming into this game. Now, Lingardino, the man from Manchester United, turning Villa over. Obviously, you had goals from Sushek, and then you had 2 from Lingard. Can we see the resurgence of Lingard at West Ham? Time will tell. He's had a great debut. He's put Aston Villa to bed, and obviously they've lost in emphatic style. 3-1 isn't a defeat. Obviously, Emi Martinez having some blunders in his game as well, which is a good sign for us, because that means if he can do that against us, we all know everyone turns into Superman when they play us. So it's not looking good, is it? Then you got Villa versus Southampton. It seems like everyone's beating Southampton at the moment. Obviously, they beat them 1-0. Then you've had a 3-2 against Burnley. It is what it is. I mean, you didn't expect them to lose that kind of game, but they have. Obviously, Aston Villa then won 2-0 to Newcastle, lost. So it seems like they've got this tendency and a pattern of win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. Now, they lost. Will it be a win? I think we've got to take revenge on the lads. We've got to take revenge. Obviously, we know who the main players are. We know the players we need to focus on, the likes of Ollie Watkins, Jack Grealish, McGinn, Bertrand Traore. They've got even El Ghazi who can come off the bench and do something against us. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see how they line up and how they come into the game. But getting into what I believe the starting 11 will be for this team. Now, we will set up as a 4-2-3-1. I think Arteta trusts the formation enough to go ahead with it. I feel this is the formation we will be playing regardless of the suspensions. I think people will just come in and fill in a role there. And in net, looking at the names there, we've got Leno, we've got Matt Ryan, we've got Runarsson. Matt Ryan, for me, just doesn't seem to have enough time to get fit and get match ready. I don't think we're going to be playing him. I think it will be Runarsson playing. And like I said, I think this man's going to put a performance in that's going to make us eat our words. Going into left back, I mean, we still aren't quite sure on the Tierney situation. Let's see if Arteta has recently said anything about it. Obviously, he's talked about Matt Ryan's and Tierney's situation here on Aubameyang being, he is available. So we've got Aubameyang back. Or whether he's going to manage Kieran. No, it's different injury in this case. Kieran is a player that really pushes himself and able to perform. Just because he cannot help himself, even training can't help himself. You are trying to manage him as best as possible. Doesn't seem like he's playing either. It looks like he's out of the game. So that will lead me to be picking Cedric, because I feel like Saka needs to be up forward. I think we need his threat up top more than we do in the defensive areas. Cedric has been performing. I don't think he's been an issue in the past few games, even against Wolves. I don't think he was the issue. I just think it's been an unfortunate situation where we got the red card, and that just kind of had a butterfly effect going on to the game. Moving into the centre-back position, I think Gabriel will be taking the place of in the place of David Luiz, who's been suspended. I don't think we're going to be paying the 1 million to get Mari back in. So that's out of the question there. We're going to be continuing with Holding, who's been on emphatic form. He's been absolutely amazing this season so far. I think he's had a real turnaround. We signed him to a long-term contract. A lot of fans didn't agree with, but we signed him because we wanted to see an improvement. We wanted to protect his value and the asset that he brings to the team, because far too long we've had players run down their contracts and go for free. He does have a little bit of value. The way he's been playing, his value is going to hold or go up. Obviously, in the right back position, there is only one man who can go here, which is Bellerin. He just needs to be disciplined. He needs to make sure he doesn't go in, because Grealish will always look for the foul, put himself in front of the defender and draw those fouls, free kicks, even a penalty potentially. So we just need to be a bit, cautious with the way we go and approach him. We don't need to be kicking him, because he does get a lot of things go his way. Here we've got my man Granit Xhaka, the main man, the man on form, the man who's running the strings at Arsenal right now. The one I think he needs a lot more credit. People are disrespecting him for no reason other than furthering their agendas, in my opinion. Then next to him, this is the tricky one, but I do think they're just going to play party. I don't think they're going to rest him. I think he's just going to play. I think he should be fit enough. I think he should be good enough to play the game. I think he should be able to see out the 90 minutes. and we'll see how that one goes. In this position now, we're going to see, in my opinion, we're going to see the man. I think he's going to be coming in. I think it's going to be time that we see Martin Odegaard in the 11. And I think in that 10 position, sorry. And I think it's going to be time where we see him from the start. I do believe Arteta will pick Smith Rowe, but I feel he needs to be rested just to allow him to have time just to kind of reset himself, get a bit of fitness rather than getting the injuries we know he can get. So when we come into this pitch, I think Pepe is going to go in here nicely. He's going to fit in. I don't think we should be bringing Aubameyang back. I think the run of form that we've been on, why change something that's not broken? You don't go around just breaking something to fix it. So I think we need to stick to what we know. And we need to play Nico Raskla Pepe. And we need to stick to the man on form. He's been the one scoring goal, 2 nutmegs, and then he just scores it in emphatic style. My guy, he's turned around. He's turned his fortunes around. In this position, the one man, I did say, 4-4-2s have put out their under 20s, and they've put in Ansu Fati, which I agree with. He's probably is the number one under 20s player right now. Then they put Bellingham. Then they put Pedri. Now, I do think Saka needs to be in that top 3. But I think if he carries on the way he's going, he will be in that top 3, no problem. So he's still got a long future ahead of him. He's still a very young lad. He needs to establish himself, and he will be in that top rank. He will be one of the best youngsters in Europe, in my opinion. Coming into here, you can only have them one man who's linking all the play up, and that is Alexander Lacazette. I don't think anyone else is going to take that position from him. Even Aubameyang's not good enough right now to take that position from him. I feel like he's going to be the middleman. He's the one who's linking the play, allowing players to play with the freedom they have. He's pressing from the front. He's a captain. He's a leading by example. And that's how I think we're going to be setting up, given the suspensions and injuries that we're now currently having. I do feel it's strong enough, and it's time for revenge. Now, a lot of people who follow me on Twitter will know what's coming up, and that is my bold statement. Now, what do I genuinely think will happen in this bold statement of mine? And this is the fact I think Runarsson is going to make people eat their words. People are going to have to praise this man, because I feel he's going to put in a performance that we did not expect from him. He's going to put in a performance which is going to surprise a lot of fans, I think. It's going to... I might be the one eating those words, and but I'm going to back him. I'm going to fully trust in the guy. I think we wouldn't have bought him if we didn't see absolutely anything in him. I think obviously it was a bit of a stupid move when we see him in Europa League, when we seen him against City. But I feel like he's learned, and I think Arteta and the coaching staff knew exactly what they needed to work on, where they needed to work, and how they're going to improve him. So that is what my bold statement is going to be. And I believe we're going to win 3-1, because I don't think a clean sheet is going to happen against the likes of Ollie Watkins and Jack Grealish from the form they're on. So for me, and obviously Ross Barkley, I completely forgot he's at Aston Villa at the moment. So that is my bold statement. Thank you very much. Subscribe, like, and share, and I will see you soon. Take care, Gooners. This is Runarsson signing out.